text line. Let's go to someone who works in the space of providing renewable energy solutions. Professor Ray Wills is the Managing Director of Future Smart Strategies. Ray, welcome.
Yeah, g'day, mate.
Thanks for coming on. How doable is that idea of microgrids for communities like Mullewa, as explained there by Shane Love?
Well, if we think about the regions, Broome is a microgrid. There's, 20,000 people, 20,000 megawatts up there, 20,000 kilowatts, I should say, which is, roughly about 10 times, 15 times bigger than Mullewa needs. So these microgrids already exist. The question is, how can we usefully attach them to a Western Power network where there's wires already hanging there? And Shane really did nail it. He just said, look, it's adding reliability. That's what it's designed to do. So it's not designed to give 100% of the power, but on occasions of reliability, it's certainly there to give 100% of the power in times of lower reliability from Western Power.
So cost-wise, though, is it an expensive thing to do, to add that reliability for occasions?
Look, if you look at what we're doing in the cities where we're rolling out underground power, that works out to be about $20,000 or $30,000 a household. Residents pay half, and the government and the councils pay the other half. That's actually quite an expensive program, but we're still rolling it out. This is actually about, in scale, by my calculations, would be equivalent in cost. So it's kind of like an underground power system, but for Mullewa or for everywhere else that needs one. So it wouldn't be that bad. I think that they'll get some change out of the $3 million. If they're just talking about solar and batteries to bolster reliability for the grid, then they'll get some change. If they're talking about taking Mullewa off grid, then they'd probably need about 4.5 to do that entirely reliably. But yeah, for this one that stays on grid, $3 million should get some change out of it.
So is this the best way forward to get proper reliability for power for communities like Mullewa? You mentioned Quairading, Ravensthorpe, and many others. Is this the best way forward for reliability, but also in a good economic sense as well?
Yes, it is in terms of the cost, because solar and batteries combined together as a hybrid, as we call it, is remarkably cheap these days. And particularly when you're adding it to a grid where you're bringing that. In some places in the wheat belt where they're down the end of long dangly wires, and sometimes those wires fall over, which is part of the problem with reliability, then actually taking them completely off grid, having them isolated, just like Broome is, having their own power generation source, but doing it with wind, maybe a bit of wind as well as solar and batteries. That's all very sensible. Horizon Power started doing this back 8-9 years ago now, taking farms off the grid and giving them standalone power for their own little household systems, but doing that for towns, for smaller towns in particular that might be further down the grid than normal, where grid supply is unreliable. Again, as discussed, it's something that's been considered now for more than 10 or 11 years. We've not really acted on it as much as we should. However, positive procrastination, solar and batteries are now really cheap. So we would have done it a few years back, it would have cost us more. If we do it now, it'll cost us a lot less.
Okay, we'll leave it there and we'll mull over positive procrastination. Thanks for coming on, Ray. Cheers.
Thanks, Andrew. Bye.
Professor Ray Wills, Director of Future Smart Strategies.